Well, hey, this is Jerry. I'm bringing you another episode of What's Broke Today. That our project today is a 52-inch Wright stander, and it's the model with the adjustable deck that I got idler pulley underneath, and that's one of those. I got the WS-TX52, and we come underneath here. I'm carrying the camera, so apologize for the movement. But we come underneath here, and I'll set the camera there, and that nut right there, got my flashlight on, is loose because that idler pulley, the bearing's locked up, and that's the idler pulley for the hydro belt. So I've got to swap out that pulley, and that one thing about these is, depending on the year, how hard it is to do that, and which really none of them are hard, but some models, which we'll walk over to, because this one doesn't have it, but the fixed deck one I'm fixing the oil leak on has a hole in the top of the frame. You can line up the bolt and the pulley to put a wrench or a socket down through. And some of these with the adjustable decks do. And I cleaned up back there, and there's no hole. So in that case, here's the nut for the adjuster here on top, and it's a 3/4 inch. And on the bottom here, there's a 1/2 inch hex in this arm. Put a ratchet or a breaker bar in so you can take tension off the belt and pull it off. And then of course it pivots on that bolt. So we're gonna take that bolt loose so we can swing that arm down and pull the belt off. But I'm gonna do a little bit of work, then I'll come back. Alright, I'm gonna record. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but I'm gonna get my ratchet in the tensioner, and then basically, I'm going the wrong way. Duh. Take the tension off the belt, which I can't do that laying down or watching. There's enough pressure, but I'm going to push it to the right. I'm going to reach up here and pull that belt off one of the pulleys, and then I can let the tension off and get the belt kind of down out of the way. And of course our pulley is all wedged up in there. And then we'll take and put a 3/4 inch socket on my ratchet and get it up here on the bolt. Go ahead and see if I can break it loose. And then, luckily I have a long arm, so otherwise you might need help. But come around here to the front. We'll put a 3/4 inch wrench on the top and just loosen our bolt. And don't have to take it all the way out, but actually loosen it a little, and then I can use my cordless ratchet and put it up under there and finish loosening it what I need. Well, it was being difficult, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this pulley off and the hydro pump. And one thing you want to check is how far recessed the shaft is up in the hole, so when you put it in, you can get it back in and level. And then go like that. Hold the pliers the right way might help. Take these two, they're 7/16 headed bolts. And take them both, lose your socket at the same time. So we'll take them both out, because right now they're screwed into the pulley. I'm going to take this out, and then I'm going to screw it up, or put it in the holes on the pulley adapter, or sheave, or whatever they want to call it. And I might have to get some lube and put on those. We'll see how they turn. Because, yeah, these probably been out of here for over 10 years. You know, I think I'm just for shits and grins, I'm going to go get a thread chaser and clean the threads. Now, I went and grabbed the thread chaser. That I have an assortment that has the most popular sizes. And it's something I think I got it at Sears, but I've had it so long, that may not be right. But it seems like that's where I got it. And it's just used for cleaning and repairing threads. You know, you can't cut brand new threads with it. Yeah, get it up there and we run it up through there. It'll basically, any dirt and trash that's in the threads, or say if a thread's deformed, it'll clean it up. Just so you don't want to be easy. And just get both of the holes clean. Then we can pull our thread chaser out and start our bolts. And what our bolts are going to do is push the pulley up off the center hub. And depending on how long it's been up on there, how hard it's going to be to get it to come apart. Oh, now I'm going to go grab a ratchet because I don't want to take a chance of breaking those bolts. Okay. Got those tight. I'm going to hit on this pulley a little, but you can't do too much because they are just cast iron. And then do one side and turn it around. And do the other side. Now, I don't think it moved at all. But this probably hasn't been off here since it was new. Can't pry on it too hard. You can't beat on it too hard. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this, see if I can get it off and move the camera so it's closer to, or so that I can get in closer to my work. All right, so after doing a couple revolutions, and basically I stick my pry bar up here in between the pulley and the sheave, pull up, and then just peck the outer rim of the pulley, and then I turned it about a quarter of a turn and did the same thing. And I made about 2 revolutions around, and then I tightened up the bolts, and then did that same thing with 2 revolutions again. And I could tell by my pry bar that it was moving freer. You know, I wouldn't have as much trouble getting it in and out of that groove. So I took my flashlight and looked, and I could start to see shiny in between the pulley and the sheave, and then now I've got that loose, so I can turn that around and see. Sometimes they slide right off, sometimes they don't. Let me take those bolts out of there. There's a split in this sheave thing. I was going to take a straight bladed screwdriver and drive in that slot, and basically I'm just spreading that apart. I start working that, and that hub adapter will eventually work its way down and come off, even though it's not ready yet. I don't like to beat on it too much, but like I say, it's been on there a long time. I don't right out have a puller that'll fit up in there real well. It's part of the problem. Otherwise, if I had a puller I could get in there, I wouldn't even do this. I keep doing that, and that shaft slowly ends up farther and farther up inside of the sheave or hub adapter, or there we go. We are so close. They also told me close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So go. All right. Once we get that, then we can put our ratchet back in here. And then this rest of this pulley will fall out of there. And then, oh, I guess it's a good thing I took that off, because he's got part of an old belt wrapped around that shaft. Probably lucky he didn't take out a seal. It is no telling how long that's been up on there, because I don't remember when or if I put a belt on this. And then the other thing to watch out for is there's a key in the back side of that. But the good thing about that now is pretty much got all our tension off, so I can loosen that up a little more. Okay, and there we go. I'm going to pull this out. Another thing I got to retrieve is the spring. Alright, now just get my ratchet out. This is 9/16, and you can see in there that that bearing is gone. So I'll put my wrench on that, and let's hope that nut's not welded on. And it's not. So, and basically what that did was, when it locked up, it loosened the bolt, and then instead of the bearing turning, the threads of the bolt were turning inside of this bracket. I'm gonna have to clean this up a little. Well, that might work, because I'll try it first, but if I can get that washer off there. Because when the owner of the mower went and got the new pulley, I mean new bolt, a new nut, and then we have a washer, and the washer is because we put the bolt down through. We have the bearing out here, but this little hub adapter that's pushed through it, I mean, that hole is basically, bigger than the head of my bolt. So when we put the washer on it, put it down through there, the washer ends up coming out and getting on the bearing. And of course this is flanged right here where this adapter's pressed in. So we'll put that there, that on there. Of course, a new lock nut. Okay, yep, tighten. And we'll take and tighten her down. Then when we get her tight, we just want to make sure that our pulley stays square with that bracket. And we're in good shape there, and the bearings where it pivots look good, because actually, I mean, Wright's doing it a good job, because they're actually putting roller bearings for these to pivot on. Okay. And unfortunately, my hands are probably going to block this, but I'm going to try. So, but alright, so I'll have our pulley mounted. Of course, our pulley was on top of the bracket. We're going to take our bolt, put through. We have our extra washer that was on top. So you always got to watch out where the washers and spacers are at. You got the great big fender washer. Okay, and then this half of the belt that's going on the back side, it has to run through here, because if you see right here, here's where it slaps and hits that, it's so close. Have our spring ready to go there, and basically I'm trying to hold it like that. And then okay, and we get that up through the hole, and then grab my cordless ratchet, and we're going to see if that nut will start. I don't think it did. It is so close. Let me reach around and see if I can hold the nut. There we go. Oh shit. Gotta loosen it up. I gotta get, I mean, the whole belt has to go through that slot, but we're not at a too far gone point, so that's good. Because if you're replacing the belt, you could just stick it through the slot. Now I have to get it over the pulley so both halves are on the correct side. Okay, there we go. Okay. That all looks good. Get that good and tight. All right, now I talk about our fancy pulley here. Or, oh, that might be considered a collet. I don't know, I'll have to look up and see what they call it, but this is what slides up on the shaft. Of course, it's got the keyway to line up with the keyway on the shaft. And it's got 4 holes. The 2 that are threaded are the pump it apart holes. The 2 that are not threaded screw up into the holes in the pulley. And how you know what way it goes is you put it in this way, you see how it slides in? If you put it in the other way, it won't even fit in the hole. And the whole thing is this has a taper, this is tapered inside, and so as you put these 2 halves together and tighten them down, it closes off this groove and clamps it down to the shaft, and that's what holds the pulley on. And so even for this, you can look up inside the hole and tell how far this was up on that shaft. And basically all I need to do with this is wipe it off a little on the taper. And I also see a little rusty spot where this matched up with that groove. I'm going to hit that with some real fine sandpaper. Then we'll go back together. So let's go through over here. There's a hole in the frame behind the wheel motor. I'll see if I can push this up through there and come around the frame that way. Now I'm going to take and loop that like so, and I'll take and grab my handle. I'll hold that a little farther around like that. Okay, I'm going to pull this over. Well, so we have to go even more, but that's all right. We can. All I can do is push that over and then readjust this. Now I'm just going to tie that like so, and what it's doing there is holding that new idler pulley away from where I'm working. I'll reposition my camera. Okay, I reassembled my pulley loosely because we don't want that hub, you know, stuck in the pulley while I'm sliding it up on the shaft. Now, of course, the bolts go down. My keyway's on the back side, so I can go in here and sliding that and working it up the shaft. And if it gets a little tight, oh, get my hammer. Hiding things from myself again too. And I can gently okay, so I get that up all the way. Once we know it's all the way up there, I can start tightening down the bolts. Now, I start out with my ratchet, or the cordless ratchet, but I'm going to finish off with my hand ratchet. And then, grab my flashlight. I'll have a good idea when I got it tight, when I get rid of this little shiny groove around the, or line around the bottom. And I just, on where that slides, I just use a little bit of a rust penetrant for a lube. And just alternatively go back and forth and tighten these. Because after you turn this one and it gets tight, then you go to the other side and it turns easier. And I got to be getting close because yeah, I'm just about there. And you don't need to Magilla Gorilla these. Just good and snug. Okay. And once we get that, then gotta get our belt line back up, and then look and make sure you're on the engine pulley properly. I take my flashlight and shine it up there, and because it is super close to top of the electric clutch, so you can't hardly mess it up, but you could. Okay. And once you get it around there, then you can push your tensioner a little more, untie your rope, get everything out of the way, and then I take the camera off the tripod. So there's our new pulley, our belt back on. All I got left to do is a test drive and put the toe plate back on. Just got back from taking the Wright Standard for a test drive. That everything sounded good, worked good. That got rid of that rattly banging sound, because while it was running, that pulley not being flat was, when it was wobbling, is hitting the bottom side of the frame there where the engine's mounted, is getting close to hitting that bracket at times, along with it rattling in the bolt hole and it spinning. So, but everything turned out good. He can come pick her up and go munch some more leaves. That I appreciate you watching. I hope you found the video to be helpful. That I always take a thumbs up for a like if you don't mind, and then please subscribe to my channel, because there's no telling what else you might see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.